Hello guys, welcome to another video on this channel. In this tutorial, I will be showing you how to unit test your room database using Roboelectric framework. So basically, the Roboelectric framework will allow you to run your unit test without requiring an Android device. So this will make your test to run faster than instrumented testing. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I want to believe that you already have your room database set up. So this is my movie down. So this app is basically a movie finder app that fetch movie from OMD database and save it to local storage using the room database. So this is just the basic implementation of the movie DAO. So the functions, so we are going to test all these functions to add the movie, get movie and get movies. So we are going to test this function using Roboelectric framework. So this is my local database that extend the room database. So but we need to first install all the required dependencies. Can just So we need to go to set up Android X test. So this will just show you the all the basic dependencies that you need for to run your unit test. So we have some of this library. So we install this dependency, this and this. So if you want to check the version, you can go to the release notes page. Here you will see the version. So the core library has version 1.61. So if I want to install it, so but instead of Android test implementation, you are going to use just test implementation since you are running unit test. So go to your Gradle file. I already add this dependency. So just to show you, since you have the test implementation, so you paste the, so you check the version which is 1.61. Then if you are using the earliest version of Gradle, so if you over it now, you can see replace. So I'm not replacing because I already have the library. So let me just delete it. So you follow that to install to add this library. So add these two other libraries, these two, this and this. So add these three libraries. Then you also need to add the Roboelectric framework library. So you have to check the version here. So just select the version once you import the library. So let's go to the setup. So this is the basic setup. So you need unit test, JUnits and Roboelectric. So you can just copy them and add it to your dependencies. So like I said, if you are using the Gradle file, so just over it and choose replace. You can over this one and choose replace. So I already have these two libraries installed. So let's get started. So now, once you have those library, you need to sync your project. Use this sync now. So sync your project to make sure the libraries are downloaded. So ensure the sync completed successfully before you continue. So that's just the development. So that's just the how to install the dependency for our Roboelectric testing. So now let's create our test class. So you can go to the, let me expand this side. So under your Java files, so you see test. So we are going to use this folder. We are not using the instrumented testing since it's local unit test. So I'm just going to use um the local test. So I'll create a folder for your test. So let me add you can annotate it as small test. So I need to annotate it with run with JUnit. Sorry, run with Roboelectric. Sorry. So now we can start writing our test. So like every other test, you need the to set up your dependencies. So this is just the dependency that we need for our test. So you create the function that will initialize all your dependencies. So this annotating this function with before will make sure that this function is run before our test is carried out. So so now we have our database, our DAO. So now we need to close database after the test. So create another class and annotate it with at after. So this method will close the database once we are done with our testing. So now we need to create our test. We annotate every function with as test. So I have a helper function here that I'm going to use. So this helper function test movie, we create a test movie that we can use in our test. So this move is just the data class that is used to store the to map our movie data. So I'm going to use it. So just to create a test version. So so this is the idea of the test movie that I want to test. Here I just want to create a random ID. So our first assertion will be to check that our database doesn't have this movie already. So I'm guessing since this function is a translate function, we need to put it in a uh, run test function. So since it's translate function, we need to add this run test. So so we want to ensure that this movie doesn't exist in the database. So once we call this function get moving, it will return this is the expected results and this is the actual results. So it will return the size of the list since we are getting our movie in a list. So let me show you the movie down. So it's a list of movie. Though it's just one movie. This is just to check whether this list is empty. So once the return list is empty, then that means that the movie is not available. So once we assert that the movie is not available, let's add the movie to the our database. Now we have added our movie. So let's test whether our movie has been added successfully. Like I said, it's a list. So the first item in the list. So I believe if you run our test, we should be successful. So just press this button to run this test. Hope you get your success. So test passed. So that means that uh, our add and get function is working correctly. So let me check. Let me try updating the movie data. Mm. Mm. So I'm trying to change the. I'm trying to update the movie and test. So since we are updating this the same IMDb, so you should replace this title, this movie title. So let's check. I'm expecting movie title, right? So let's check our test again. Let me just run it from here. Okay. Hope our test is running correctly. Okay, let me change this. So we should our test should fill at this line. Just to check, you know, that we are doing this correctly. Yeah. So expected action. So it's already showing you all the needed information about the field test. So you can see that we are, we are doing okay. Good. So let's test our other functions. So we've already tested these two methods. Let's test these two methods. So now, as you can see that our Roboelectric run faster, so and it doesn't require any device. So if you need to test any logic, you can just use Roboelectric. So now we need to add some data to our database, like some movies, some test movies that want to check. So we can just use the range function. Mm. So it's showing us that it's a suspend function. You have to add run test. You can also use run blocking, but you can use run test since we are using coroutine. So just iterate through the range from A to Z and add the movie. So the IMDb represents from the index of A to Z. So, so let me check. So we are returning a list of movies. So we can just check it page by page. Since we are limiting it by page by 10. So we can just use this to check to test our movie. So you need to enter a search query. You need to enter a search query. So you can use empty search query, or let's use get all movie. So I'm testing this function that gets all the movies. Since this one require a search query, so let's test our movie. Let's test our function. This should fail. So can you even check for me why this fail? So you can see. So let's check dot size. That should work. So it has passed. So you can test our pagination. So let me check. Since we are going to have 26 letters from A to Z, so you can just test that. So let's get page 2 so that we get the next 10 items, and the last one should be just 6 items. So this logic will be based on what you are fitting to get your data from the room database. So page 3 size. Let's run our test. Oh, oh, yeah. The mistake was that this page should start at 0, so that since it's zero index, we just get it from 0 to 10 items from 0. That's 0 with index 0 to 9. So just changing this to 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start at 0. So let's run our test. So, so our test passed successfully. So this shows that this function is working as expected. So I want to test this other function. So since this function is going to search through the title of the movie, so let me just search for, since our movie starts from A to Z, so the title, this is the title A, B to Z, and then the IMDb is 0 to 25, is a 0 indexed. So let me just search equals, let me search for B. So we search for B from the database, title B. So you get only one movie. So our test have passed. That means we have already tested all the functions that communicate with our own database. So you can see how fast this test run. So if you want to run all the tests in this class, go to the class, like this class, and just click run test. So you to run all these tests that you have, all these functions. So like I said, Roboelectric framework is very useful when you want to run a unit test for your local database and retrofit. So it will run your test faster because it um, doesn't require the device, any device, and any other device to run. So that's just basically how to do it. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.